Hey everyone, me Kevin here. In this video, I'm going to discuss how the Supreme Court nomination affects the next stimulus package and where we stand on the next stimulus package as of today, Saturday, September 19th. First, let's go ahead and understand what's going on with the Supreme Court. I'll keep this condensed, and then we'll get on to the stimulus portion as they both relate. Also, remember to get your free stock worth up to $1,600 in the link down below. Deposit $100, they give you a free stock worth up to $1,600. You could also get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes. Yesterday, the 27-year Supreme Court Justice veteran, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, lost her battle to cancer. Now we have a vacancy on the court. Instead of having 9 justices, we are down to 8. This means we could see splits down the line, like 4 justices voting one way and 4 voting the other way. And when we have a tie at the court, the lower court rulings are upheld. This, as some are saying, could be the end of the Affordable Care Act and cause problems for tens of millions of Americans using Obamacare. This is leading some to say we should do whatever we can to fill the vacancy as soon as possible, no matter who is president. While on the flip side, there are many who say no, we should let the voters have a say by picking the president they want, who will then be able to have the power to elect the next Supreme Court justice. Donald Trump, after all, has already picked 2. See, recall the end of 2016. Obama was president and there was a need to appoint a new Supreme Court justice and get that person confirmed by a Republican Senate. But the Republican Senate said, no, you know what? We'll just wait for the election. And so they did. And instead, on February 1st, 2017, Neil Gorsuch was confirmed by the Senate and signed by Donald Trump. Brett Kavanaugh then came in 2018. Well, here we are, just 45 days to the election in 2020, and now we have another Supreme Court vacancy, the 3rd that Donald Trump essentially has the power over. And the Republican Senate now says, well, last time we waited for a new presidency because that was a Democratic president and we're a Republican Senate, so we would rather, just wait to see if we can have either a Democratic Senate and a Democrat president or a Republican Senate and a Republican presidency, which they ended up getting, Republican Senate and Trump as president. Well, now they're saying, well, since now in this case, we are a Republican Senate and we do have a Republican president, let's not wait. Let's just get a new justice in right now. In fact, Mitch McConnell says we're going to hold a vote next week. Well, according to the Associated Press, these things can take a little bit longer. Supreme Court nominations usually take around 70 days to get through the Senate, and the last nomination took even longer with the Kavanaugh nomination process. However, get this, for the Senate to make progress on a bill, like getting through a filibuster with a stimulus bill, the Senate needs 60 votes. But to confirm a judge, like a Supreme Court justice, the Senate only needs 51 votes. It used to be 60, but Mitch McConnell changed the rule. They have 53 Republicans in the Senate, and even at a 50-50 tie in case up to 3 Republicans defect, Mike Pence can split the tie. The Senate is also scheduled to go on recess in about 3 weeks, but technically they have until January to get this done because no matter who wins this election, Trump will still be president until halfway through January, or almost 2/3 of the way through January. So it's very likely we're going to have another Republican-approved Supreme Court justice, which will give Trump 3 justices and 3 seats on the Supreme Court. And remember, justices are appointed for life. Now, in order to remove a Supreme Court justice once approved, the House would have to impeach the justice, and the Senate would have to hold a trial and get a 2/3 majority vote, which is about 67 votes. 66 to 67. This means Democrats would have to sweep the election and have a 2/3 majority in the Senate, which is very, very unlikely. So, how does this all tie into stimulus and the progress on stimulus? Well, there's good and bad here. The bad is it increases tensions at an already extremely tense time. We need disaster relief. We need stimulus relief. We've got a contentious election and post office problems coming up. We're trying to extend the budget in the United States, and even that's having problems. And now throw this into the mix as well. 2020 is turning into the hotbed of problems. Now, Republicans want to pick a new justice as soon as possible. Democrats want to wait. And negotiations on the next stimulus package stand squarely between Nancy Pelosi and President Trump. So remember, I've been saying for the last few days, if you hear anything from senators, just ignore it. They're not in power right now. So let's take a look at Nancy Pelosi. Well, so far we know that Nancy Pelosi has a crucial interview scheduled for tomorrow on Fox. We'll see what she has to say about the state of negotiations. when we actually look at what she said, the only things that she's mentioned so far are that we should reenact or potentially even re-vote on the HEROES Act to sort of double down and say, let's hold another vote on the HEROES Act, which are a few processes. We've got a few steps here. We can go with the HEROES Act again, which almost seems silly. We could pare it down to $2.2 trillion, or we could go with the Problem Solvers Caucus bill. But right now, Nancy Pelosi is dug into suggesting, no, we just need the HEROES Act. That's it. In fact, on Friday, Nancy Pelosi was asked whether a smaller package is better than none at all, and she said, no, it's a missed opportunity. And that keeps her standing by the HEROES Act. Now, it is possible that Nancy Pelosi is doing this out of some weird strategy to bully the White House into submission on a stimulus package that's larger. Now, in some way, Nancy Pelosi's strategy has kind of been working. Last week, she was bullying the White House into submission after the Problem Solvers Caucus came out and came up with their proposal, which many of us really like: the double stimulus checks, the extended unemployment, the PPP round 2. Heck, there's even EIDL money in there. There's so much in there, including rental assistance. It's great. And Donald Trump came out and said, this is great. I think the people in the Problem Solvers Caucus are great people. In fact, then he went on Twitter and said, you know what, Republicans should just come up. The money comes back to Americans anyway, which left a lot of Republicans facepalming. So maybe Nancy Pelosi realizes, yeah, she might be putting us through a nail biter, but maybe by holding firm, she's actually going to end up winning and getting us a stronger and larger package. After all, Nancy Pelosi has vowed not to leave Congress until a stimulus package gets passed. And negotiations are really squarely between Nancy Pelosi and the White House right now. If they can agree on a plan, then we'll probably be able to slam dunk a plan through certainly the House and almost certainly the Senate, because all Democrats and the independents, which are 47, will very likely slam something through, and we'll certainly see at least 10 to 20 moderate Republicans jump on board, so we'll have more than enough votes to get a proposal through. That really puts all of the attention on this week. Unfortunately, this week was supposed to be the week that we sign off on the continuing resolution to keep the United States budget going to avoid a government shutdown. But unfortunately, Congress missed their self-imposed deadline yesterday to strike a deal on keeping the government open. That is now delaying that discussion until next week. Tentatively, there is a verbal deal. The White House is getting $30 billion in relief for farm trading, and Democrats are getting $2 billion in food aid for families with school-aged children to buy groceries. Now, this still has to be voted on as well next week. So next week could potentially be this insane disaster or an insane week of progress. I'm curious to know what you think in the comments, though I think I already have a pretty good idea what we all think because of, well, the history of this Congress. How are we realistically supposed to expect that at the same time a new Supreme Court nomination process begins in the Senate, somehow Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump are going to come together and actually make a deal at the same time as a continuing resolution gets voted on and passed, and at the same time as new discussions form around disaster relief because of hurricanes? Yeah. Now, as if 2020 couldn't get even more difficult, air pollution is heading back to pre-COVID levels in areas like London and Rome, and the only reason pollution levels are actually declining in areas like Paris are because cases are rising and they're locking down again. At the same time, New York actually has surprisingly low pollution levels, but that's because, well, pretty much everybody has left. On COVID cases, yesterday we had our second biggest spike in September with over 47,000 cases. And folks, I am no closer to being able to shave. So make sure to get your free stock with Webull worth up to $1,600. Get your life insurance. Check out the programs and the links down below. Folks, thank you so much for supporting this channel, and we'll see you next time.